We're live from Lindsborg with John Presley, and I just wanted to stop by your tent in the shade. You and I don't have a very good history with this. I just thought of this moment. That was across the street. The first time I ever stopped to take pictures of you in this job, probably 10 years ago, while you were carving, you cut yourself, which doesn't happen very often. So I'm always a little nervous about this, but I didn't actually think of it till this moment. But what you are doing is Swedish flat plane carving, which is a very traditional type of Swedish craft, yes?
It's very traditional, goes back perhaps in the mid-19th century. Nobody really kept records, but in the mid-19th century, men working in the lumber camps in northern Sweden, it was dark. When they had off time, they would use their working knives to carve out toys for their kids. Things like roosters or pigs or horses, which may be the origin of the doll horse.
Yeah, we kind of wonder about that, yeah.
And in so doing, they're heavy knives, and I've got one that resembles that. They were a thick-bladed knife, and you can't do really delicate work with something like this.
That's dangerous looking.
Well, it was a tool.
Yeah.
Used. And so then as the tradition developed, a fellow named Axel Peterson, better known then later on as Better started carving characters, and in 1909 was featured in an exhibit in Stockholm. And they were wildly popular. And at about that same time, Carl Johan Trigg was also carving characters. Two really distinctive styles, but they're both in the flat plane tradition. And what I have over here is two of the Trigg characters there. And I really like his sense of humor. I've not been able to find or afford a Detterholten carving.
Okay.
They're hard to get, and his is much more rough, much more coarse. But again, he carved what he saw and who he.
And everyone has a little bit different style of this, because there are a couple of you, and more than a couple now. I'll introduce you to Jennifer in a little bit, who learned from John. But everyone has a different style of carving. It just, when I look at carvings and I look at yours or Bruce Harding's, I always know whose are whose, because you have your own style, most definitely. Yeah.
And that's the important thing. It's a primitive style of carving. It's not trying to do lights and stuff. I mean, that's boring. I mean, they admire the technique, but it really doesn't invite the person to become a part of the story that the carving is evoking.
So show us a little bit of what you do to just start a carving, and because I start out with, literally a block of wood.
Well, I tell you what I do is I start out, in this particular case, when I'm doing something that is just going to be really quick, really rough, but it doesn't take long at all to get a recognizable figure out of something like this. As I do this, I've done this for kids a lot, and it's really a ball, because they're the ones that illustrate how these become a tool for telling stories and the participation in the stories. So, what's also a lot of fun is there's a technique for carving eyes that I'll get to here in a minute, but so as we're doing this, then what you're going to notice is I'm just taking out wedges and triangles. You look at the character that I've got here so far, you just got triangles. And then I throw in a few other little things. And so far, right there, we've got the nose. We've got eye sockets. We don't have the eyes. But one of the things that I do when I get to the eyes is I ask kids, okay, what shape are your eyes? And, I'll get ovals and watermelons and footballs and things like that. And I said, well, nobody says anything about triangles. triangles. Well, that's the technique that I learned to represent eyes. And again, it's representing, it's not replicating.
This is amazing to me because you've done this in literally just a couple minutes, if that.
And if I get really ambitious, then I'll add the hat. But that gives you an idea how you can bring out the character in just a few strokes, really.
Yeah, it's really,
And
you make it look so easy though, and yet it's really, I mean, this was not like how you did this. How many years have you been doing this now?
It's approaching 20, 21 years, somewhere
So
around there.
definitely speed with practice.
Yeah, I do work at it a bit.
Yeah.
No, I don't work at all. I play. I mean,
This is fun to you. It's
this
leisurely,
is-
correct?
this is-
Leisurely, okay.
You know, I discovered Anthony Pearson Park. That's been 21 years, which in itself looks like a long time. Nonetheless, and then several years later, I found a book by Harley Russell that did what I wanted to do. And so
Started teaching
the
yourself.
tradition here in Lindsborg is amazing. When was it? 2019 was Hellings Fest. We had an exhibit come in from the American Swedish Institute that featured some of these
folks that you have,
you know,
yeah.
like the Gunnarsons and Triggs, and what they did was twist Jennifer's arm along with I think it was 9 other people who carve in a variety of styles, and so we had a collaborating exhibit at the San Jose Gallery along with the American Swedish Institute exhibit, and that was just a ball because what we had people making a small board set, people making birds, people making games, people making decorative items, shelving, stuff for Christmas, and it was amazing the variety of stuff that we
Yeah.
got. And that's the point of basically the Swedish history of carving. You carved what you needed, you carved what you wanted, and then you carved your own
Decorative things. So Jennifer's here today, and I'm going to visit with you a little bit, Jennifer, because John taught you to carve, correct?
He did.
And so what are you working on today? Can you show me?
He's gonna be a little tomty. You can't.
You're getting started on him,
So
yes.
We're trying to see it if you look really close
So,
right now.
so how long have you been carving?
It's been about 5 or 6 years.
About 5 or 6 years. So we have a few of the things that you've been working on here.
Yep.
Just some little detail, Lucia, and we've got, it looks like a Viking on his, what is he on? A horse? Is he on his horse? So cool, super cool. So you enjoy this too. Do you do this in your free time as
I
well?
do, yes.
So it's just something that's leisurely to you too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Hobby thing to do.
well, thank you for letting me share with you, and I want to just see what else you're working on while you're here.
Okay. Well, I don't ever work, but
Okay, what you're
what
having
I'm
fun with?
hoping is this guy will look a lot like the finished fellow.
Super cool. Well, we will come back and get some more pictures later today and show people what you've been doing. Sound good? Okay,
Thanks.
signing off from Lindsborg.